our crappy culture. So in all of podcasting, is there a smoother segue between Michael Knowles than between Michael Knowles and our crappy culture? I mean, I think when you're talking to Michael Knowles, just our crappy culture just comes to mind. So Mike Pompeo has been chosen by Donald Trump to replace Rex Tillerson as the Secretary of State. And you all know what the Secretary of State does, right? He is our chief diplomat. He goes around the world. And Cory Booker decided to question him on one of the truly important issues that comes up when the Secretary of State is going from place to place trying to stop wars from happening. And this was the moment.
Is being gay a perversion?
Senator, when I was a politician, I had a very clear view on whether it was appropriate for two same-sex persons to marry. I stand by that.
So you do not believe it's appropriate for two gay people to marry?
Senator, I continue to hold that view. It's the same view.
And so people in the State Department, I met some in Africa that are married under your leadership. You do not believe that that should be allowed?
Senator, I believe it's the case. We have married gay couples at the CIA. You should know I treated them with the exact same set of rights.
Do you believe that gay sex is a perversion? Yes or no?
Senator, if I can,
yes or no, sir. Do you believe that gay sex is a perversion? Because it's what you said here, Senator, in one of your speeches. Yes or no? Do you believe gay sex is a perversion?
Senator, I'm going to give you the same answer I just gave you previously. My respect for every individual, regardless of their sexual orientation, is the same.
Now, as you know, the Constitution forbids religious tests for appointments, and yet we've seen Dianne Feinstein complaining about someone believing in Catholic dogma. And this, again, he's saying in terms of his practice as a diplomat and as a CIA director, he treats everybody the same. His personal beliefs are really his own business. And yet, of course, the press comes up and they back up Cory Booker in this moment. Here is CNN Wolf Blitzer and Nia Malika Henderson, cut 13.
That was a very strong exchange.
Yeah, tough exchange. In some ways, an expected exchange. Cory Booker is the progressive on this panel. You've had a lot of gay rights groups raise these concerns about some of the comments that Pompeo has made in the past. So you saw some of that exchange come up there, and Pompeo essentially relying on the same answer, which is that he treats everybody fairly, that people in the CIA have same-sex partners, and he didn't treat them any differently. But I think there is that issue again. Can you promote human rights and equality in the way that typically secretaries of state have done and presidents have done if you do personally have this belief that same-sex marriage shouldn't happen and that essentially that people who are gay and lesbian aren't as equal.
And he stood by that.
Unbelievable that it is not enough for a man to treat each person equally. This is something, I'm going to talk about this more as we go on. Woke culture, as they now call it, woke culture is racist culture. Woke culture is anti-religious culture. Woke culture is sexist culture. Woke culture is all the things we climbed out of the mud and built this country to get away from. Woke culture, which pretends to be progressive, is the most regressive culture imaginable, and it defines everything with which it disagrees as hatred, and everything it disagrees with is out of bounds. And so it encloses itself in a cyst of ignorance, because if you can't hear people you disagree with, you can never change your mind. You can never learn new things. This was appalling. Pompeo should have ripped into him. I know he wants the appointment, and I know you don't want to say to a senator or a congressman, you don't want to say, basically go screw yourself. But I think that they deserve it, and we really should be hammering them every single time they go after an appointee for his religion. It is unconstitutional. All right, we will be back. I'll be on the road tomorrow, but I will be here. We will somehow, through the miracle of modern technology, get me on the air. Do we have a guest?
Yeah, we're going to have Joseph Tartakovsky.
Oh, yeah, Tartakovsky was on talking about, he has a new book about the Constitution and the people who have tested the Constitution through the years. It's a pre-recorded, it was really, really interesting conversation. I'm Andrew Klavan. This is The Andrew Klavan Show. I'll see you tomorrow. The Andrew Klavan Show is produced by Robert Sterling. Executive producer, Jeremy Boring. Senior producer, Jonathan Hay. Our supervising producer is Mathis Glover. Technical producer, Austin Stevens. Edited by Alex Zingaro. Audio is mixed by Mike Cormina. Hair and makeup is by Jesua Olvera, and their animations are by Cynthia Angulo and Jacob Jackson. The Andrew Klavan Show is a Daily Wire Forward Publishing production, copyright Forward Publishing 2018.